one, go. All right, we're here.
All right, what do the viewers want to know about Damangus now?
Oh, I don't know, man. I do have some things we can talk about though.
Rad.
Yeah, pretty rad.
Shoot out a genre for me.
So I want us to talk about where the name for Damangus came from.
Oh, yes.
Because I was like, did I take a screenshot of it? I'll have to look it up. But I remembered that Damangus was technically not the original name. I remember when we filmed the first one, we were like, we wanted to start with the letter D.
Yeah,
so
I remember we went online and we looked up a bunch of names.
yeah.
And we just had this list of random names. And I was like, none of these feel crazy enough to me.
Hold on, I'm trying to find. Let me see if we can find the website that we looked up unique names or strange names that start the letter D, and we found a name. It was very similar to Damangus. Let me see if I can find what website it was on. Where did I find it? I remember seeing it. I might as well just say the name though. The original name, the original name was Damarcus.
Oh, yeah.
That was the name. I looked it up and I was like, that's what it was. But I remember we went to go film. I was like, hey, what was the name again? You were like, Mangus? And I was like, are you
I
sure?
remember
You were like,
I remember what happened was that we looked up a name, we went with a name, and then I sat down and you were like, do you remember the name? And I was like, don't worry, I got them. And then I said Damangus instead of that, whatever the
I
actual
remember
name
we
was.
were like, that's not the name, but that's better. Like,
Yeah, I remember we were doing it, and then I remember you were filming. We did that entire scene, and then afterwards you're like, Damangus, I like that.
it's good. It's good. It's classic.
Yeah.
Um, any other cool stuff to talk about? Did we already talk about? I don't think we talked about in the last podcast about what it felt like to wear the Santa Claus costume.
I think we did
We
because
did? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I haven't watched
Let's
it in
just
a
talk
while.
about it again, just in case they they didn't watch the first one or listen to the first
Oh,
one,
I found the
or if we
website.
didn't.
I found the website real quick.
Oh, you found it? What
Yeah,
was the name?
it was Demarcus. I know it was.
Oh, it was. It was
I remember the
Demarcus.
name was Demarcus. It's a really
Oh,
bizarre name, but I just found the
well,
website.
Demangus is way cooler.
Dude,
So
dude, dude.
what?
The
What?
website is called www.babynamewizard.com.
That's hilarious, man.
Coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you were saying though, Santa Claus costume or wizard costume, as truly is.
Oh yes, of course. Damn, it was hell. I remember I was sitting around in that thing. I was like, it's Texas. I was burning up, but I was super itchy too.
I remember you made me
Yeah, I remember
wear
that
it.
too. Yeah, you wore it. You ran around outside. You did some push-ups.
I remember the only thing that was uncomfortable was the beard. For me, at least, I hated the beard. It was so
Yeah,
scratchy and itchy.
that was the big issue, honestly. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was really funny. Well, when you did it, it was pretty funny.
So, do let's talk about how we met. Us two.
I don't even remember how we
I
met,
don't. I
honestly.
don't remember it
I
that
think
well.
I'm pretty sure what happened is I just moved from Utah to Texas. It was like we were like 3 weeks into school already, and it was basically like my first week, and I'm pretty sure I was like sitting. I was trying to find somewhere to sit at lunch, and I don't remember what his name is. He was like, "Hey, dude, just come sit with us."
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you were at like the other end of the table, and you said some stupid joke, and I thought it was amazing, like, because stupid jokes are great.
I thought you were gonna say like I'm at the end of the table. We lock eyes, and then you go, "It's a wizard."
Yeah, I know, right?
Now I remember it differently. I thought it was that we were in the same
Really?
PE class. Wasn't that what it was?
I know we were.
We were.
But I thought we knew each other before then.
The thing is, I remember the PE class is when I started talking to you. Because I remember, like, every time I go to a class, like, I kind of get an idea of someone's character. And I completely misjudged your character. I thought you were a jerk. And then we went to go play, I think it was soccer. Or football, as our European audience would say.
Right.
And we both got put on goalie position. Because every team had 2 goalies. We were just kind of standing there and just cracking jokes.
I totally remember that. We were just because our team was good and they kept the ball far away from us.
Yeah, that's right. So we had nothing to do but talk.
We were just standing there like, this is great. What the hell now?
Yeah. We would just crack jokes, and I'm like, this guy's awesome. And then we talked a lot.
Yeah, and I remember you became friends with Zane, and Zane told me about you, but he was like telling me, oh man, this guy I met was super cool, he's so awesome. And he told me all about like how cool you were, and then I was like, oh, you're talking about Emmett.
Yeah, I remember that, because okay, Damangus here, he has a stepbrother named Zane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I became slightly friends, with Zane in PE, not knowing they were stepbrothers. And so when I figured, I was like, what?
Yeah, he told me about you from like, third person point of view, how cool you were and how great friends you guys were becoming. And I was like, oh, you're talking about Emmett. And he was like, dude, you know him? And I was like, yeah, we're best friends.
Dude, good times.
Yeah, total trinity of best friends here.
So Zane got in Crazy Carl to be the dead character every episode.
Yeah.
Still
Dude, I don't know if we ever actually killed him again, though.
We killed him twice. He got killed. Well, he died off screen in the Bigfoot one.
Right. And then what was the other one, though?
The terrorist one. He gets shot in the chest.
Oh, yes. I remember that one. Hey. The terrorist killed him.
All right.
I'm Damangus.
I remember when we were filming the terrorist one, I told you, I was like, it must have been confusing in your eyes, because I told you, I was like, yeah, I'm going to dub the terrorist later. So for you, you're just kind of like shaking a gun. Completely
yes,
quiet.
It was very strange. I was shaking a gun, making all these weird sounds. Like, not even making sounds. I was just kind of like, moving, trying to give you something to work with.
Yeah.
Like the whole yelling into the phone scene.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you had to act like you were yelling into a phone without actually yelling.
Yeah, I didn't say anything that entire time. I remember I shot Zane, and then you had to go to the bathroom, and then you ran away, and you're like, oh, man, Zane's going to have to get back quick.
Yeah.
Not going to get that raise.
Oh, good time. What else can we talk about?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, explain the origin of your name.
I mean, we just did, I thought.
No, we explained Damarcus, which was Damangus. I mean Dave TrippelDash. Tell the tale.
All right, it all started. Let's see. What year? Let's see.
I'm assuming it was high school, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. It was high school. I think.
Did you say it was the summer before high school?
Yeah, it was scout camp the summer before high school.
So 2015?
2015 question mark? Yeah. So summer of 2015, I am at scout camp.
Right.
I remember this pretty well because the class that I met this guy at was the farthest I had to walk. I swear I walked like a half mile there, and I drank all my water. Every time I went, I drank all the water I brought with me. Had to pack up, had to get more water for the half mile hike back. And yeah. And I met this guy, and he was really cool. His name was Merrick, but I looked at him and I was like, "What is your name?" And he's like, "Merrick." And I was like, "You look like a Dave. Can I call you Dave?" And he's like, "Sure. Can I call you Dave?" And I was like, "Yeah. If you're gonna let me call you Dave, you can call me whatever you want, dude." And he's like, "All right, I'm gonna call you Emily." And I was like, "No, you can't call me that."
Wait,
so we
wait, no, you were like, you may have just made this up yesterday, but you told me you were like, well, I'm Dave number 1, so.
Yeah. So the entire time we were like we always called each other Dave for the entire week we were at camp.
Nice.
It was really cool. And then the last day of camp, I told him like, this is awesome. When I go home, I'm gonna get an entire group of people, and we're gonna call all of us are gonna be called Dave. We don't even know what our real names are gonna be. We're just all gonna be Dave. And he's like, have fun with that. And I said it as a joke,
Yeah.
Then I got on the bus, like day 1 of yeah, and I think it was Devin Hanna, who I had known previously. I was like, hey, do you want to join my army? And he was like, what army? And I was like, oh, we're just gonna call each other Dave, and we're gonna be an army. And he was like, sure. And so I was like, cool, you're Dave number 2. And he's like, why am I not Dave number 1? And I was like, because I'm Dave number 1.
Yeah, come on, dummy.
Duh. Yeah, I know, right? He'll only ever be number 2. Gosh, Devin Hanna is such a loser.
This is not 24.
I know. Right? Hey, you're the Dave Press. Remember that?
And I wrote the theme song, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, the themes, all that great stuff. And so I'm pretty sure before I got off the bus that day, I already had like Dave's like 1 through 8, Dave's 2 through 8.
Nice.
So it was pretty cool, and that was funny. And so then I just started, and I would always try to get more Daves to join my army.
Right. I remember there was one day you showed me, I don't know what it was called. I'll just call it the Dave Journal. It just had all the Daves written down. You're like, yeah, we got people from other schools. We got names and phone numbers and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I
remember.
Whoa.
I remember writing that down. Yeah, it's because I went to the tech school all the time. Yeah. And I had people from Trinity that were like, dude, I'll join your army.
Trinity is a neighboring school to us, or to our high school.
Yeah. So I had people from Trinity that were like, yeah, I will join your army. And I was like, sweet.
Yeah. Remember writing the theme song? It was a good
theme you song. Wrote the theme song.
Do you still remember it?
I think
I actually remember it because it was catchy. It was Dave is our name. Our names are all the same. We highly suggest that you change your name to Dave. That was good.
If your name is Dave, you'll be super brave.
Your name is... I remember there's the part where it's, if your name is Dave, a princess you will save. And then we had like a whole...
If you're a girl, Dave, a hot prince you will save.
But then it was like, if you're gay... like it was changing per like gender and sexual orientation. And then I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. We gotta stop.
Yeah,
because it was really long.
Yeah, I remember I took home one copy and I swear I printed like.
Oh yeah, you
like
printed
30 other copies,
and I was like,
gave them out to people. Like, here you go, guys. This is our theme song.
That was good. So that's where Dave came from.
Now, yeah, that's where the Dave part came from. And TrippelDash is a whole other story. Because, here, do you want to explain the TrippelDash part?
Yeah,
because
sure.
I feel like that was more on you.
So we were we were planning on doing a little YouTube series that I don't want to announce the name of because I think it's a great name. And we had character names for ourselves. I was going to be Mark Tarnum, which is what MT stands for. So technically I still have that. And then we had Dave without a last name decided. We didn't know what his last name was going to be. And so when I was writing scripts for it, as like a fill in the blank for his name, I put in parentheses 3 little dashes. And then so like I don't remember if we said it out loud, but like it looked like Dave. I was like, here's your name, Dave, and then I was like, TrippelDash, it's a fill in name. And I was like, we were like, hey, that's a nice last name, Dave TrippelDash, you know?
Yeah.
And then we wanted to have these characters have original names that weren't connected to anything. And we looked up TrippelDash, the normal way that English would spell it, which is wrong. And it was associated with what was it associated with? I don't even remember. It's associated with something.
I don't know. I never looked it up. You looked it up and you were like, oh, we're going to have to change the spelling of it to make sure nothing no legal things happen.
So
And
we
so we
spelled it
did.
different.
Yeah, and then I started using Dave TrippelDash, and everybody's always like, "You're spelling triple wrong," and I'm like, "No, bitch, you're just spelling it the wrong way.
I'm correct.
America spells it the wrong way. I'm spelling it the right way." So I always had people telling me like, "You don't know how to spell. Why are you so dumb?" It's like, fight me.
So, since you explained your name, I might as well explain my username. MT the Doodle King. So, this is funny, actually. My original username is a typo. It was originally going to be the letters M-I-T. Could that way be M-IT, you know? M-IT.
Yeah.
That was going to be like a pun. It was like, get it? Because it's like my name. My real name's Emmett. So I was like, M-IT, you know? And then I think, like, my first Minecraft account, I guess I asked my mom to make it, and she messed it up. And I was like, aw. But then MT, it was just MT, and then it stuck. I was like, you know, that's fine. I'll keep it. And then at some point, it was originally MT Player, and then I wanted to get rid of the player because that always sounded dumb to me. So for a while, it was just MT. And then there was this guy who was trying to make fun of my art style. He called my drawings silly doodles to try to say they're bad. And then also at the same time, he was making fun of the group, the We Cult, that I'm in, by calling it a silly little club.
Yeah.
And me and the We Cult made fun of him, saying, because we're like, haha, you and your silly doodle club, we just combined them together. And then for a bit, my username was MT Doodle Club as a joke.
Right.
Then I kind of lost the club thing, but Doodle kept with me because that was specifically for my drawings. It was like the silly doodles. And then
Cool.
first day of college, I walked into my art class, and they had a piece of paper that said, write your name here, and then write a preferred name. If you had a nickname or if you were transgender, you change your name or whatever.
Weird stuff like that.
And then I put down as a joke, I was like, MT, and then on the spot I thought, the Doodle King. And I was like, haha, that's funny. And then I handed the paper over. And then later that day I was like, that's got a nice ring to it. That's a nice name. And so, yeah, I chose that name, and I haven't gone back since. That's been the username. Good times, good times. How long have we been recording?
I don't know, man.
We probably should have checked before. You got anything else to talk about? Any fun Damangus stories? Hey, dude, let's talk about... I don't think we talked about this on the past recording. Let's talk about failed Damangus recordings.
I think we've talked about that.
Did we?
Let's talk about. Have we talked about the ones that we want to make? Because I have a really good idea for the next one.
I don't really want to spoil any of them.
Okay. We'll talk. I'll talk to you about this afterwards. After we stop recording.
Oh,
I have a really good idea.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything we're missing? I think we talked about enough. Yeah, we probably, this is fine podcast length. You want to say anything to the audience before we go?
Bye.
That's it. Just bye.
I don't know what to say.
Well, people, thanks for watching. All 10 people that watched it. Actually, 10 people would make me happy.
Oh wow, really? How many people have watched the last one?
I'd have to check. I don't know. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys hopefully in Damangus Season 2, if it ever happens. Bye-bye.